Today's date is March the 20th, 2023. Will Berlinghoff, the voice of cosmic awareness, and Dee Dee, energizer and questioner. Would awareness please bring through a public message?
Indeed, there is a public message available today, for it is a very auspicious time that you find yourselves in, and that many of you are concerned about matters that seem to be overwhelming, or at least presenting in such a way that it is easy to go into a fear response to the situations at hand on your planet and in your world at this time. Situations such as the imminent collapse of the banking system, in the war in Ukraine, the political situation that is arising around the threat that Donald Trump will be arrested, this being tomorrow, the 21st. All of these matters are of concern, but this awareness would remind one and all that it is only when you give energy to things that those things become real and present in your life. Most still think that the events outside of themselves are that which influences the reality of their experience or their lives. And it is very easy at this time, when the war has truly been engaged, the secret war, the shadow war, the hidden war, that there is the use of energies from both sides that is beyond the spectrum of the physical events themselves. That which is known as the Dark Cabal has many names and many faces. One of the faces that is worn is that of the satanic face of the divine energies corrupted into that which is a travesty and a perversion. And that those who are of that persuasion, if you will, to think that they have the right to have power and all the assets and benefits of being in power and being in charge, that they, the dark ones, the satanic ones, the Illuminati, the elites, the dark cabal, whatever you would call them, feel very justified in using the black arts themselves or itself to engage in the war that is currently afoot, that is currently occurring. They are hidden in their actions, but this does not mean that the dark ones are not known, and how they manipulate and control is not known to the white hatters, to the light workers, to the patriots, to Donald Trump and his company. It has been said many times by Q and others that they have all the information and evidence needed to prove the duplicity and the evil of those ones who are trying so hard to influence affairs through the use of the black arts and through other means as well, technology being one of the means by which they do it, especially in the area of AI or artificial intelligence. But much more is going on than is being revealed. And those who are the light workers, the white hatters as some call them, are playing a strategy that actually is a very clever strategy, in that they are drawing the ones who would still stay in charge and in power deeper and deeper into a trap. And it is so that this is done deliberately, but also secretly, or at least in a hidden way, so that many who observe the situation that is going down on the planet, the many situations that are going down, do not think sometimes that the white hatters, the light workers, the divine force is on duty at all. For it still seems as if the dark cabal, the satanic ones, are getting away with much and bringing forth things that are absolutely nonsense. To understand nonsense as that which means no sense, nonsensible, nonsense, would be beneficial for the many who are observing the situation that is going down. And to understand there is more occurring behind the scenes, especially by those who are the white hatters, than is seen on your TV screens or picked up on in your medias, be they social media or more public media. The real trick here is for each of you to understand that while you are waiting for further events and revelations on the outside, where as a patriot you could say, there, we have them, we've shown this, only to have that countermanded by the dark ones who have alternate strategies. They do not give up at all. This previously was what you might call their strength. They continued always driving away at the corruption of humanity and its downfall, moving ever closer as they saw it, as they see it, to the defeat of the ones who have been opposing them, especially the one Donald Trump, the symbolic leader of the light group. Be aware that the one known as Donald Trump is also aware of a bigger picture here. And while it may be the focus is completely on the A42 timeline, which is the timeline to restore the republic and to bring liberty back to humanity, not only in America, but globally as well, is not asleep at the wheel. And that there is indeed those actions that are taking place, that are being set up to bring results in contrary to the will and desire of the dark force. This matter of Donald Trump being arrested is being played out now. And even before it is manifested, the fact that such a threat exists to many who are supporters of Donald Trump are firing many up. And that there are those who are now in protest of such a thing occurring before it is even initiated. And this was the intent, the purpose of such a sacrifice, for in a way, Trump is sacrificing himself to bring those forces together that are trying to destroy him. And the strategy, if you will, is such that by bringing him together over the corpse, as they, the dark ones, see it, that Donald Trump is a dead man walking, and that they will bring him down so they can get on with their devious plot, is how they hold it to be. But what if this action is simply an action to coalesce these forces, these ones, to bring them together so that they all can be taken down at once? This would be part of the long game. And as in chess and in the strategies of chess, where you may sacrifice one of your players, a pawn, a bishop, a rook, even sometimes the queen, to achieve that which is an ultimate victory. When you see ahead, many moves ahead, you can plan and structure the game. And you can take the moves necessary, even the sacrificial moves necessary, to bring the opponents into this situation or that situation where they are vulnerable. and the attack can be fully launched and checkmate achieved by those who were willing to play the long game, who had the patience but also the belief that they would be successful in the end, as it is so with Donald Trump, with the Q, with the Patriot movement, the Anons, the people themselves who are rising up more and more. This is how the game is being played. Whether or not the man Donald Trump will be arrested tomorrow remains to be seen. It is seen by this awareness that there are several alternatives. But if it is so that they do arrest him, please understand this is that which is the long game, the longer game that is being played here on a global scale and on the national level. But before this even, this awareness reminds you that you, each of you, while observers to the ongoing events and circumstances and the situations that arise, need to always remember that there is something unique about you, something that the Dark Ones do not wish you or any to know of themselves or yourself, that you are capable through the energy of your own thoughts and your own intent and your own actions, be they physical actions such as in protest or spiritual actions such as in sending energies to the White Hatters, to Donald Trump, to support him and his crew, that you, each of you as sovereign, autonomous individuals, have the capacity to send the positive energy for a victory to the ones of the light who are at this time engaged deeply in this worldwide conquest, controversy, this conflict. This is the word this awareness was seeking, this worldwide conflict that is occurring at this time. Understand, as said, they being the Dark Ones now, are using the evil arts, the dark arts, to enhance their own energies and actions. And so it is that if many of you are feeling downhearted or physically in pain or suffering, or there is that which is the energy of hopelessness, that this may not be actually yours, but that which you as a sensitive, sentient being may be picking up on as the dark arts are being used at this time. But hold it, that this will not defeat you. Hold it, that you trust, believe, project, and see and imagine that there is victory ahead, and that you see a world bright in the light of the source itself that is now present. When this awareness says it is now present, it is speaking to that which is simultaneous time as it is used by those beyond the third dimensional veils, those veils that isolate one from that which is the truth of their own being and that which is the truth of their own spiritual nature. It is imperative the Dark Ones continue to keep humanity asleep and dumbed down, for that is what enables them and allows them to move forward with their nefarious plans and their deeds and actions. But this is being countermanded, and if you see it for yourself and hold it in yourself, that you are an important ingredient in this recipe of the resistance and the contrary energies to be held against the Dark Ones, to be enacted against the Dark Ones, that you yourself, individual as you are, autonomous and sovereign as you are, have the capacity and capability of standing up and saying no, or as Nancy said, just say no. No, this is not all right. No, this is not tolerated. No, I do not accept a future where I will be enslaved and my family and children and aunts and uncles and friends and associates will be enslaved. I do not hold this to be so. And as the spiritual being that I am, and as part of the creator being that I am, that I hold that the light of Source itself comes through now in its glory and in its strength and in its power to expose the darkness, to bring light to the dark ones, and to bring that which is the very action of the divine Source, or as many call it, God itself, into that which is this conflict between good and evil, dark and light. Also, remember always that the dark ones themselves are also part of the divine Source. Hatred, anger, malevolence towards these ones is not that which will win such a conflict or such a war. Many are confused often over the saying that was presented in the New Testament of turn the other cheek, feeling it meant that you had to be subservient to another by allowing them to strike you without striking back. This is not necessarily so, but you do not need to strike back in anger, in hatred, in that feeling of malevolence against the enemy. Rather, simply hold sacred neutrality. Simply go into your heart, into the open heart, doing that which is the mind to heart drop, if you are familiar with this. And if not, to simply focus on your heart and the open heart, the secret heart that is connected to Source and to Spirit. And even if you do not understand this as a principle to work with in your life, to hold it nonetheless, to be so that you are part of those that are bringing the light to this world, that are assisting those who are the light workers, the white hatters, and Trump and company. And that in your world, as you project it, as you see it, as you hold it to be, that in your world there is no room anymore for the deceit and corruption that has been turned against humanity for such a long time, that it is now coming to a head. And even if it sometimes seems as the light workers are not responding appropriately, or that they are on the down and out, do not hold this to be so. Do not accept this to be so simply because you are hearing it on your television or over your mainstream media, or even from friends and others that you know who are in fear and are spewing this fear out because they are not aware that they are being used, controlled, and manipulated by those who know how to project fear globally, nationally, regionally, locally. Ultimately, it comes down to you yourself, you, the autonomous, spiritual, sovereign being that you are, beginning to awaken to a truth that is denied you, that you are of Source Spirit, that you are a spiritual being having a physical existence, so that you have physical experiences. And that which is being presented in the global sense of the conflict and in the national and regional way of presenting it right to you, serving it up on a platter to you, that you do not need to eat off that platter, that you can call in the highest forces through that which is the heart, your open heart, your spiritual heart, and that you hold that in these perilous times, exactly now, in this moment of your life, that you hold that the dark ones have been vanquished, They simply haven't understood this point yet, and are still presenting as if they have control over the matter when they are losing control daily. They are in panic. They are in desperation. Do not join them in this panic, fear, or desperation. Hold it that in your timeline or in your world, the world that you are experiencing, that all will work up to that which is the revelation of the divine itself in your life, in your family's life, in your community's life, in your city, region, nation, or even the global situation, that all will come right, for it already has. It has already accomplished. For those who understand that time on the other side of the veil is simultaneous, all is in the now, that you hold it there as being so, that it has already been accomplished. You have already succeeded. The divine has come forth, is now present. And in your life, you are the living embodiment. In your life, you are the physical representative of that which is of a greater nature, and a nature that most never speak of when they speak of bringing back peace, law, justice, and order. Add to it spiritual freedom as well. And know that you are an emissary of the divine source itself. Come here at this time by your own spiritual choice, before you were even manifest in a physical form or a physical reality, that you already chose from beyond to be here now at this time. To be here now, to make a difference in this time and this space and this place. That is a physical experience. Call in that which is the source itself to you, and you will know what it means to be awake. You will know what it means to be aware. And you will know yourself to be more than that which you have been told over and over by others who have sought to control you for so long. The time of liberation is at hand, and it is at hand now. That this completes the public message at this time, and that it is so, and so it is.